Welcome to the Functional Living Podcast, featuring your hosts, Dr. Jeff Cumro.
You can't live a 3 out of 10 on the lifestyle scale and expect to have a 10 out of 10 on health. It just doesn't work that way.
And Dr. Jared Leon.
We want you to live at a higher quality of life, thereby having a better everyday existence.
Functional Living is the show that is dedicated to your higher quality of life. These are tried and true solutions from two nationally acclaimed health and wellness experts.
Our goal in this journey is quite simple, is to give our listeners a small understanding of what we've done and what we see every single day to better patient lives.
Learn how you can live a higher quality of life today.
You're going to be much happier. You're going to be much healthier.
And now, introducing your hosts, Dr. Jeff Cumro and Dr. Jared Leon.
Dr. Jared, I got you on the line. This is Dr. Jeff.
Dr. Jeff, hey buddy, what's going on, man? Good to hear from you.
Not much, just looking forward to another conversation with you, talking about functional living here, and today we're going to talk about goal setting.
Goal setting, love it. Perfect, let's get started. You want me to go or you go, my friend?
You go ahead, you take it.
All right, perfect. So goal setting, I'll be honest with my listeners. Listen, it's one of those things in life that I've done for about 16 straight years, and before I'd started that, I never believed in it, thought it was crazy, thought it couldn't work. It's just like probably all you listening, thought it can never be me, but man, wow, it changed everything. Somebody once challenged me in a seminar to start setting goals and saying affirmations. I believe we spoke of that a few modules ago, but the truth is, it changed it all. So, Dr. Jeff, why don't you quickly say your experience about goal setting?
You know, I was kind of in the same boat, and, you know, I would set goals, but I wouldn't write them down. And, you know, when I finally started writing those goals down, you look back at them, and it's just amazing to see what you've accomplished. When you just say them verbally, it's one thing, but when you put them on paper, it's a totally different thing. It makes it real, and my personal experience is much more of them come into reality than when I was just keeping them in my head.
Perfect. Well said. So I'd like to say this to all the listeners. There's 2 or 3 different types of doing this. There's hundreds of ways, but we're going to give you 2 or 3 really good gems today, okay? So gem 1 is we challenge you to start thinking of goals, right? That's number 1. We got to think it, right?
Definitely.
The next thing I'd recommend is going to be to ink it, right? You got to think it, then you got to ink it. So at some point now in the inking process, I'll be honest, there's 2 versions of us now, okay? Some of us can write everything down, and other people are going to listen to what I'm saying. And they're going to be like, Dr. Jared, I'm not going to be writing this stuff down. Can I say it? To be candid in the beginning, I'm a fan of doing whatever is going to work for you. So ink it or say it, as long as you say it with emotion. I'm okay with that. Dr. Jeff, are you all right with that one?
You know, as long as you find something that works with you. I mean, that's the biggest thing. It doesn't matter what works for me. It doesn't matter what works for Dr. Jared. It's what works for you. As long as it's applicable, that's what matters.
Perfect. So there we go. So we got it. So we're going to think it, we're going to ink it, or say it, right?
Yeah.
And the third piece is really to create an action step to make it all happen. So if we just write a whole bunch of goals, I find that's awesome. But at the end of the day, if I got 10 goals and didn't do one of them to check them off, I feel that was a waste of time, right? But it sounds good. I got 10 goals. So it's not about a dream here. We're looking for real goals, real actions, real concepts. Dr. Jeff, what do you think about that? Is that about right, the way you do it?
Yeah, and, you know, I just sit down and I write 2 or 3 of them out. But, you know, I've got a question for you. What do you put? What is a good goal? Like, do you have to have it definable? How do you set a time frame? How do you go about that part?
You know, perfect. So today, for instance, let's use today, right? So today we're going to practice. I'm trying to motivate myself to get to the office and be in good spirits. So first thing I'm going to write on a piece of paper, actually while I'm driving, it sounds funny we talked about this, but I set my goals as I drive. So I'm writing it down. Of course, at a stoplight, by the way. And what I'm doing is I'm writing today's goals, so I'm writing Tuesday, then I'm going to write goals. I'm going to write a simple first thing I write so I know I did it. I always like to say something I already did. It might sound silly, but it's a really good way to build like your achievement muscle. It's not a real muscle, guys. It's just something fictitious and fake, but it makes it work, right? So what I do is I'll write something that I already did today. Like today I worked out, so I'm like, great, hit the gym. So I already did that on my goal. I wrote it down, and then I check it right off. And then I go to goal 2. I always write AVG, affirmations, visualizations, and goal setting. So I've done my meditation for the day. I've done my mind fit. I've already done my goals because I'm writing it down. And now I'm doing my visualization as I say it out loud. So right there, I check that off. And then another cool one more quickie would be, you know, I want to have an amazing, fun day filled with prosperity in the practice. So that one's it's a big, more nebulous goal, but it's gonna add my excitement level to have fun throughout my day.
Nice.
Dr. Jeff, go ahead, give us one of yours, buddy.
So basically what you're saying is that you have a specific thing that you want to accomplish within a specific time frame.
That's perfect. Every day.
Yeah, and
my goals that I personally do, I set per day goals, because tomorrow I'm going to rewrite new goals. That's the way I roll. So if I write a weekly goal for me, it's not as profound. I like to write weekly goals because at the end of a given week, I'm not the guy to actually go back into my calendar. So I write my goals on a piece of paper, stick them in my pocket, and I check them off one by one throughout my day.
I'm a little different. I go about it in a weekly and monthly manner, just because I'm kind of lazy. I just want to do it a couple times a week. And yeah, I go through and I say my affirmation every single day, but I want to help X number of patients by the end of the month. I mean, that's one of my goals. My goal is to help as many people as possible get healthy. And having something written down just helps kind of focus me on what I'm really in practice for.
I love that. I might steal that on you. For me, I do it, like I said, I do it every day. I got a lot of wasted paper I recycle back to the world, but the truth is, that's what works for me, and I write it, stick it in my pocket, and we go get it, and we do that every day. Saturday and Sunday, I look at Saturday we work, but Sunday is like my freebie day. So I'll be honest, listeners, Sunday there are no goals, just like happy family time. But I'm going to go back. I'm going to listen to Dr. Jeff because he's an amazing guy, and I'm going to listen to some of the things too. Just as I teach you, he teaches me. So what I'm going to do is steal that. I'm going to have my monthly goals going forward as of tomorrow. So tomorrow, it's going to sound silly, but as a learned curve for everyone listening, one of my top 3 goals will be to create a goal for the month. So literally, I'm going to write it on my list for tomorrow to create something for the month. That's the way we create an action instantaneously, and if we don't do that, it's going to be a wish. And this is not upon wishing wells. We want to teach you real life stuff so that you can actually do all this every day starting tomorrow.
And I got to steal something from you as well. I am very good at setting business style goals and exercise style goals, but I sometimes forget about setting the family goals and spending time outside with my son and my wife, things like that. I need to work harder on writing down those goals because those are just as important, if not more important, than any of the other goals that we set too.
Well said, my friend. That is absolutely true. It's all about the balance of life, and all of that is written down. I find too many individuals, especially in their practices, do not have that proper balance, which then adds to global stress, and stress then causes a whole bunch of lack of harmony in the system, leading up to symptoms.
Exactly.
So what we're talking about is living the other side of that world. Is that correct?
It is. I've got those goals in my head. I just need to ink those as well.
Perfect, man. So we got some good goals. Are there any other secrets that you have that you'd love to share with our listeners?
Like I said, the biggest thing is making sure that you have a specific action by a specific time period, because if you don't put a time period on it, you're not going to focus on reaching that goal.
Very true. I also think a great one is to find something or a time in your day, as we discussed in the past, that is going to make it very habitual for you to do this. So it has to be a tangible part of your day, and it has to be something that you're willing to commit to every day. It's not going to really work and see a big change at the end of a month if you did it twice. This is something that to really see a benefit, I would challenge you, anyone listening, to write goals every day, bare minimum, 5 days a week, because most people have the Monday to Friday job. So I'd say 5 days minimum, with a minimum of 3 to 6 weeks. And then reevaluate how different life has turned. What's changed? What isn't? Email myself and Dr. Jeff and tell us some of those changes just from something so amazingly simple like writing goals with an emotion.
It makes a difference. It really does. And I hope people will email their goals because I'd be happy to help. I'd love to look at them. I'd love to be your accountability partner and help you reach those goals.
Myself as well. I've actually done, I don't know if you've ever done this, Dr. Jeff, I've actually done goal-setting workshops in the practice and have patients come out, teach them the strategy, and have them write goals to themselves and self-address them, and then I remail it back to them in 6 months. Have you ever tried that?
That's a genius idea. I'm writing that down right now.
It's a pretty good one, man. It holds them accountable because what you said is the truest statement. Accountability is the king for keeping you really alive, man. Without that, it's so easy to say I'm not going to do it. And we all procrastinate, which is awesome, right? Until you need something done.
It is.
So, listeners, I challenge you, write goals, send them to myself and Dr. Jeff. Let's see if we can help you create really outstanding new ideas. Let's see if we can challenge you to come up with some really great living styles, new functional ways for you to dream up, live big, spend time with your family, do things you don't normally do. Set a vacation goal for yourself. How many people work too hard and don't vacation? Have fun. Live up every day to be your best. I think you're great. I appreciate your time. Dr. Jeff, you got anything else to say? I think we'll close this one out.
No, I agree with you. I think that you have to take accountability for making your life better, and this is one of the best steps that you can take. And I appreciate you guys listening. You guys are the best, and I'll look forward to talking to you all next time.
You've been listening to the Functional Living Podcast with Dr. Jeff Cumro and Dr. Jared Leon. If this podcast helped you find the path to your higher quality of life, be sure to subscribe and leave us a rating or review.